Sure, sir. So I'll, without any delay, start the formal proceedings.
Yes, please.
So, sir, a very good afternoon and welcome to this e-session on IRDI initiatives in this pandemic times. On behalf of the Merchant Chambers of Commerce and Industry, it is my pleasure to host this webinar, which we hope will provide a lot of guidance and be beneficial to all the attendees. The COVID crisis and the economic slowdown resulting from the preventive lockdown has proved to be a major socio-economic challenge for the country. However, the different governmental agencies and regulators like IRDI have been extremely proactive throughout this period to ease the concerns of Indian citizens and help them through these challenging times. For instance, it is well understood that during a pandemic, people are heavily dependent on their health insurances. Keeping this in mind, IRDA has stipulated to all general and health insurers to offer standard individual health insurance policy called Arogya Sanjeevani policy to the public from 1st April 2020. That was to cover the treatment of COVID-19 as well. The IRDA also directed insurance companies to design specific products to cover the cost of treatment related to coronavirus. Soon, the short-term Corona Kavach policy was launched. In the last 6 months, the regulator facilitated the introduction of several new insurance products, including Arogya Sanjeevani, Corona Rakshak, and Corona Kavach. In an effort to make insurance affordable and available for all sections of society, IRDI issued a circular to all life insurers to start a standard individual term policy life insurance product called Saral Jeevan Bima. The plans, which have now been launched by 6 insurers, have a minimum sum assured offered of rupees 5 lakhs, which can be extended up to rupees 25 lakhs in the multiples of 50,000 rupees. IRDI also told insurers to speedily settle claims concerning COVID-linked hospitalization and treatment. Besides this, it has instructed them to speed up all other claim settlement processes and stressed that no claim to be turned down without crucial reasons for doing so. This year, the regulator's noteworthy initiatives include introduction of standard products with the view to enhance consumer confidence as well as easier KYC norms. It has also extended the provision of issuing electronic policies for ease and convenience. To help us know more about the IRDI regulatory changes and how we can all benefit from them, we are extremely thankful to Sri K. Ganesh, Member Live IRDI, for accepting our invitation and being with us today. Sri Ganesh assumed charge as Member Live of IRDI on 31st of July 2019. He is a former Executive Director of Corporate Communications in LIC of India. He was also Senior Divisional Manager of LIC of India at Indore and Chennai, Regional Manager Marketing and Zonal Manager at Hyderabad. He has also worked as Chief of Health Insurance and as Executive Director Customer Relationship Management in LIC in India. With these few words, I would not like to waste everyone's time. We're already getting late, and request Sri Ganesh to address all of us. Thank you, Ganeshji, for again accepting our invitation, and my apologies for the small technical hiccup that we had. And we all eagerly look forward to hearing you. Over to you.
Thank you very much, sir. Good afternoon. At the outset, I thank members of Chamber of Commerce, Kolkata, for their invite to me to interact with their members today. And I thank all those attending this virtual meet for your participation. Friends, very rightly, as we have all understood, the COVID pandemic has disrupted our lives in many ways, be it causing death and anguish to the families of the deceased, left many persons who were infected, and thankfully, many have recovered or are recovering from the infection, but many more are worried about theirs and their family's safety. The pandemic has caused economic problems to individuals, businesses, economy, and hardships, especially to the unorganized labor and the underprivileged amongst our brethren. Governments and various organizations have been toiling for citizens to remain safe and able to manage their lives amidst the pandemic. In this interaction, I would like to share with you some of the initiatives taken by the IRDAI to ensure that the interests of the insured policyholders are protected and they are able to get their policy services on time. The pandemic has made us all now even more aware of the need for insurance, and IRDAI has also taken steps to ensure that our people are able to buy insurance products of their choice without any difficulty. Friends, I am definitely very happy to share these initiatives and would request you to share amongst your friends and colleagues in case they are not already aware of these various initiatives, because ultimately the benefit of all these should reach our citizens. And I will request you to kindly help us in this task. So friends, I must take you back to the onset of the pandemic, because that is where the various initiatives began. One of the first things that we had to do was to instruct the insurers to ensure business and operational continuity processes remain up to date. It was new for all of us. This type of pandemic we have never experienced, we have heard about it, but never believed this type of disruption can take place. So one of the earliest instructions we had given to all insurers were to examine their business continuity processes, their operational processes. Are they aligned to the changing dynamics, and ensure that they are able to provide services to their policyholders? You will also recall that most insurers operated with very limited staff on their premises. And even so, IRDAI had instructed the insurers to ensure customer convenience and communications to them regularly, so that they will have a clear understanding of how they are going to protect the policyholders for all their policy services and requirements. I would also tell all of you that the authority, here whenever I use the word authority in this interaction, it is the IRDAI. The authority, we have been monitoring the activities of the insurer, their new business performance, notwithstanding the pandemic, settlement of claims, solvency, investments, policy redemptions very regularly. This we have done from the onset of the pandemic, and we are continuing to do so very, very regularly. And so we would like to ensure that there are no difficulties for anyone, the insurer or the policyholder. As regards communications with the policyholders and the insurers, the IRDA issued a clarification at the onset of the pandemic that all the existing comprehensive health insurance schemes will also cover treatment costs of hospitalization on account of COVID-19. The authority had issued guidelines on telemedicine, and insurers were advised to make provision for telemedicine services in compliance with the telemedicine practice guidelines issued by the Medical Council of India. At that stage, it was very important to maintain communication with the policyholders, and the authority encouraged the use of WhatsApp and insurers' mobile apps as a preferred mode of communication between the insurers and the policyholders. The IRDAI asked all insurers to improve their systems and ensure more online and digital methods, particularly for payment of premium and settlement of claims. To ensure quick process approvals, insurers were instructed to provide video-based identification process. I would like to tell you that the insurers are in the process of upgrading their technologies to ensure that this facility will become operational. Now, the start of the pandemic threw up many challenges. Suddenly, when the country went into a lockdown, people could not pay their premium, submit their documents for settlement of their claims and other policy services. So there were some challenges then. So one of the earliest initiative taken by IRDA as a policy concession was between March and the May of 2020. IRDAI allowed extended grace period to policyholders to pay their premium. This ensured that risk cover continued under their life policies uninterrupted. Similar facility was instructed to insurers to continue the insurance coverage for motor third-party cover, health insurance policies. The RBI had announced moratorium on loans, and in that moratorium period, IRDAI instructed insurers to extend the risk coverage duration for the group credit life schemes. In fact, friends, about 1.84 crore lives were thus covered during the extended moratorium period. To ensure uninterrupted policy services, insurers who had earlier sought documents for claim settlement, loan sanction, or surrenders in their physical copies now resorted to accepting these details through their online portals. And as Janjit has said, the authority had instructed insurers to issue policies electronically. By this process, faster issuance of policy documents facilitated and reduced paper handling, thereby contributing to hygiene and safety for the people. Of course, we have already informed the insurers that if any policyholder will insist on a hard copy of the policy document, the same should also be facilitated to them in some quick time. Another important improvement we had made was an instruction dispensing with the need for physical signatures in insurance proposal forms. This facility, friends, has been extended up to 30th of September 2021. Now, what has this dispensation facilitated? This has ensured that face-to-face discussion and insurance solicitations are not needed, and yet the customer can purchase insurance policies of his or her choice, and the authenticity of the policy contract is ensured by an OTP-based verification process. As has been pointed out, on claim settlements, the insurers have been informing us very, very regularly about the settlement of claims, and that is very closely monitored to ensure the eligible claim amounts are received by the policyholders or their claimants without delays. And almost on a daily basis, we are tracking the receipt of information of COVID claim that has been registered with the insurers and the settlement, so that the mandate of ensuring that the settlement of these claims on a priority has been fully met by the insurers. At that time, IRDA had also issued instructions on settlement of COVID claims for treatment taking at makeshift or temporary hospitals that was authorized by the government. Apart from these initiatives, the authority has been having regular consultations with all stakeholders. IRDAI has been in regular communication with not only the insurers and the insurance councils, both the life and the general insurance councils, but also with the bodies CII, FICCI, etc. The suggestions received from them are regularly reviewed and appropriate action is taken on them. One of the suggestions related to the pre-licensing proctored training for insurance agents. Friends, insurance solicitation is largely dependent on availability of trained licensed agents. Members of MCCI may be aware that insurance agents are able to do their business only after they undergo the mandatory training and pass the examination before they are licensed to solicit business. The training process was already online even earlier. The testing process was done only through authorized centers. Now, because of the pandemic, because of the lockdown, these became new challenges. IRDA has allowed agent testing process on a pilot basis through remote proctored examination, and this has found to be successful and going forward can be used at the choice of the insurers for locations of their choice. I would like to tell you that notwithstanding the challenges, the number of individual insurance agents who have been trained and who have been licensed in the year has shown a growth over the last year. So we have now more agents who are available to contact the policyholders and provide them solutions for their insurance covers. As very rightly pointed out, authority also has embarked from last year on coming up with simple, easy to understand standard products. In January 2020, even before the onset of the pandemic, IRDAI had issued guidelines to general and health insurers to mandatorily offer a standard health insurance product, Arogya Sanjeevani. This product was widely welcomed and purchased by our citizens. On the onset of the pandemic, understanding that the public wanted a simple yet comprehensive health cover for themselves and their families, IRDAI designed two health insurance policies, Corona Kavach and Corona Rakshak. And friends, I am very happy to mention that both these products, Arogya Sanjeevani and the Corona Rakshak, Corona Kavach, have been well received by the public. Aware that apart from health insurance, people were also keen on a simple to understand life insurance cover. IRDAI has designed a simple term insurance plan, Saral Jeevan Bima. This is a simple product which assures payment of the sum assured to the nominee in case of unfortunate death of the life assured during the term of the policy when the premium is paid up to date. Persons aged between 18 to 65 are eligible to take this product for policy terms ranging from 5 to 40 years, subject to the maximum maturity age of 70 years. The products have been filed by the life insurers and they are launching them. They are also available online through web aggregators. Friends, I would also like to update you that IRDAI has issued guidelines on standard personal accident insurance product, Saral Suraksha Bima, mandating all general and health insurers to offer the standard personal accident product with the object of having a standard product with common coverage and uniform policy wordings across the industry. The authority has also issued guidelines on standard vector-borne disease health policy, the Mashak Rakshak policy. This product covers the following vector-borne diseases: dengue fever, malaria, filaria, Kala Azar, chikungunya, Japanese encephalitis, Zika virus. The product covers the hospitalization benefit and diagnosis costs of the mentioned vector-borne diseases. The product is available on individual and family floater basis and can be purchased as an individual or a group product. We have also issued guidelines whereby the standard fire and special perils policy have now been replaced by 3 standard products to be mandatorily offered by all general insurers from the 1st of April 2021. The 3 standard products are Bharat Griha Raksha policy, meant for the home building and building contents, Bharat Sukshma Udyam Suraksha, meant for enterprises where the total value at risk per location is up to rupees 5 crores, and the Bharat Lagu Udyam Suraksha, meant for enterprises where the total value per location is more than rupees 5 crore and up to rupees 50 crores. MCCI members may be aware of all these policies. In case you need more information on any or all of these products, please visit the IRDAI website www.irdai.gov.in and see the link on Standard Insurance Products Corner on the main page of the site. Members must be also aware that apart from these products that I have just mentioned, these standard products designed by the authority, the life, general, and health insurers have almost thousands of other products designed to take care of your various financial and protection goals. Friends, I urge you all to review your insurance protection coverage and take out adequate insurance covers for yourselves, your families, and your businesses. Let us also share our knowledge and awareness on the importance of insurance to people around us who are not so well versed in these matters. These, friends, are in brief some of the initiatives taken by the IRDAI to ensure the policyholders' interests remain protected, strengthen the insurance policy purchase process, and keep our people safe and secure. Friends, our country is an economic powerhouse, yet the insurance protection gap is very high. This gap can be bridged if each one of you can assess your insurance protection gap and take out appropriate covers for yourselves, your businesses, and for the people around you. You can help our country bridge the insurance protection gap by suggesting your friends examine their portfolio of insurance as well and take appropriate measures wherever necessary. As I conclude, I request each one of us ourselves do our utmost to follow all the health guidelines of wearing masks, social distancing, and regular sanitization of our hands. Let us also ensure everyone around us follow these guidelines. Today, let us ensure that we all get our vaccination done at the earliest. Let us be responsible for ourselves and for our loved ones. I hope you would have found these details I have shared with you today useful. Thank you for your patience. In case you have questions on what I have just now shared with you, please feel free to clarify your doubts. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ganesh, for elaborate initiative taken by IRDAI for the benefit of citizen of the country, and more particularly during this distress situation of the COVID. I am very much know about the working of the IRDAI because I have been the fortunate one to represent on the board of IRDAI during the year 2013. And right now also, I am in some of the committee, accounting policies committee, etc. I'm member in some of the committee. Now, we have got many interesting questions from our members. I have collected some questions which are appearing in the question and answer. Probably you can also see in the question and answers the questions and also in the chat box. If you prefer me to just read those questions for the benefit so that you can answer to those questions.
I think, yes, I think all of us can read the question answers and the comments in the chat box. I think I'll take up the first point is about the complaints that private hospitals are entertaining only cash patients and not cashless insurance. We have written to all our insurers that where there is an agreement between the insurer and these hospitals, the hospitals are mandatorily to abide by these terms of agreements. And we have also requested the hospitals to ensure that there is no discrimination between a patient who is brought to the hospital, be he a person who pays by cash or who has a cashless facility under an insurance policy for which there is an agreement between the insurer and the hospital. I'm sure that these difficulties will come down, and our people who are insured through these cashless policies will be able to get their much needed health support from these hospitals without any additional difficulty. And we have also communicated to the insurers that if they have any difficulty, they should continuously communicate to these hospitals on the cases that have been flagged to them so that these problems can be eliminated. I'm hopeful that as we move forward, these difficulties to our valued policyholders will not be there. Now, as regards the pricing, of course, as I mentioned to Sushanjit in the beginning, there are certain issues that are dealt with by the other members in the authority. Member non-life looks after the health and the general portfolio. As regards the premium, the pricing of these product, friends, the insurers definitely do file their requirements to the authority, and the authority takes note of the claim experience of the insurers and then look to what is their projection of their experience of mortality, morbidity, and costs, and then look to the cost that they have recommended and then give the recommendation for what can be the pricing. So I would believe that these pricing will be basis on the experience of each individual insurer. Also kindly remember that the insurance companies also have reinsurance arrangements, and the reinsurers also bear a cost on these policies. So that is how sometimes the prices may vary, but we are mindful of the fact that the pricing has to be commensurate to the risks that the insurer has projected to the authority. The authority is taking note of these things and giving directions to the insurer on a case-to-case basis. There is a third question by Mr. Deepak Chaudhary. Private players with comparable claims under term policies are sold at cheaper rates. I would only like to assure you that different insurers have different experiences. Though they are all insuring us Indians, the experiences are different. The reinsurance costs are different. So that is how sometimes there can be variation in the pricing of almost similar products, which is why the authority came up with the concept of the standard product, so that the features of the product will be similar. There will be no confusion about why this particular product is priced differently. So ultimately, the distinction feature would be that while the features are similar, it is on the basis of the ability to deliver appropriate service and at an acceptable price that the customer would base his or her decision to purchase that product through that insurer. So that is why sometimes these rates could be different. And as I also mentioned, that the reinsurance rates, particularly with the onset of the pandemic, the reinsurance rates also have been different. The authority has also been in discussion with the reinsurers on the need to price the product appropriately, especially when our people are in dire need to remain protected.
There are some questions in the
Yes.
chat box. Should I read those questions?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Why LIC is not issuing term policy for a longer maturity period of say 99 years as private insurance companies are doing that?
See, it will be not appropriate for me to answer on behalf of any insurance company. That may not be fair. I think that question will have to be directed to the LIC itself. But again, as I already mentioned, that insurers design their products keeping in mind what they believe will be the best fit for the people who are looking for these products, and to ensure that the features and the pricing of the products are sufficient to take care of the commitment during the entire term of the product. So about individual companies, I think it would not be fair for me to make a comment on why they or they don't offer a particular product of a certain duration.
But there is another question that some claim was there, which was made in May 2020, when that Amphan was there in Bengal.
Yeah.
Thereafter, they have been following up constantly with
Okay.
the insurer, but till now, the claim has not been settled.
In fact, I would also tell you that the authority has been also not only for Amphan, for the other natural disasters also, we have been following up through the insurers about the claim settlements. And if Mr. Avinash Savalka mentions that the claim they have preferred has still not yet been, I would request Mr. Avinash Savalka to please contact his insurance company again. I'm sure you are aware of the facility to inform your grievance about your policy services not done online through the policyholder grievance machinery. The integrated grievance management system of the IRDAI enables you to register your grievance along with details of your policy, and that IGMS system automatically escalates the complaint to the insurer, and that is monitored very closely by the authority. So I would request Mr. Avinash Savalka to kindly take it up, and in case he has not been able to get the support from the insurer, to register the grievance on the IGMS systems. And I'm sure that whatever are the reasons for this not having been done till now will get sorted out.
Next question is generally, as we all know, that in case of the Mediclaim or if you are cashless, then the hospitals charge, they do the overbilling. How to stop it? I'm sure that IRDI must be having this information, whether IRDAI is taking any step to stop this malpractice.
I would only go to say this, that I'm sure that the hospitals are doing a very careful job of checking what they are billing our policyholders. And in case there is anything that the policyholder feels that he or she has been unfairly charged, these are friends done on an understanding, clear understanding between the insurer and the hospital. The rates are already negotiated between the two. Kindly take up with your insurer about the rates, and you will become now aware whether the rate that has been ultimately charged to you has been the rate that the insurer has negotiated with the hospital. The TPA should be able to facilitate this communication so that your complaints can be clearly understood and redressed.
I have got some questions in advance from some of my friends. It is about LIC. Since you have been ex-LIC, you had been with the LIC. The question is, we would like to know if LIC will enjoy the same sovereign guarantee once that IPO is issued. That means it becomes the public listed company.
These are, first of all, questions that I'm sure you will appreciate are in the domain of the sovereign, the government of India. And they are still working out, as you are aware from the press and media reports, they are still working out the process of the IPO. And I'm sure, notwithstanding, what I'm saying this now to you should not be misunderstood. IRDA, of course, has been closely associated with the LIC, and we are also taking care of every step of the process. But having said that, I would only want to tell you that the government, from whatever press reports have come, only a very small portion of is expected to go public. So I'm sure that there need not be any apprehensions. The insurer has been a market leader and will definitely honor the commitments. And the regulator will always be taking care of the interests of the policyholders.
There is one question that is, in a Mediclaim policy taken by an individual which covers two persons, and the policy is for 5 lakhs each. I mean, the individual has taken a policy which is covering two persons for 5 lakhs each. Then in such case, for COVID patients, floating policy concept should be provided in this pandemic time. I, not being the technical person, I could not make out
I
this
also am
question.
not able to, I can make one request. If there is still some confusion about it, may I request MCCI to get some more details and pass it on to the authority. We'll examine the query so that we can be able to respond appropriately to both MCCI and to your members.
Definitely, sir. We will collect all these queries, and I will ask Mr. Day to send it to the IRDI
Yes.
to get it. Sir, another question is, initiative should be taken to provide cashless treatment to COVID-19 patients who are Mediclaim policy holders in all hospital and nursing homes. It will bring great respite to policy holders in difficult times.
Yeah, I just mentioned to you, one of the earliest questions that I responded is we have written to all the insurers to examine this complaint that people say that they have not been able to get cashless facility for the policies that are coming under their cashless schemes. And we also requested, we have already issued a press release also requesting the hospitals to honor their commitments, which they already have service level agreements with the insurers. And I'm sure that going forward, there will be no scope for any complaints on this regard. And let us keep hoping, and not only hoping, if there are issues that policyholders have, I think please take it up through their TPAs and their insurers so that the difficulties can be redressed and ensure that all the facilities that are mandated under the policy contracts are made available to people.
Sir, we have got a lot of questions, but since you have to leave at 5 o'clock,
Yes.
so respecting your time, the last question I'll ask, and thereafter the vote of thanks. The last question is, sir, you are charging, the insurance companies are charging to its policy holders 2% interest above the market rate. Now, when the interest rate is going down, is it not high? Should IRDA not intervene in this matter?
See, these are board decisions taken by the respective insurers. In fact, it is not uniformly across all insurers. Everybody is doing it at 2% or 3% above a fixed rate. These are decisions taken by the board of the insurers. And I am very confident that the insurers and their boards are alive to these issues. We have, of course, spoken to them on the need to review this on a progressive basis. And we are hopeful that they will be taking a careful view of the circumstances and aligning their policy to suit the market and also the insurers' needs.
Thank you, sir. So what I'll do, the rest of the questions will be
Yes.
forwarding to you so you can respond to that. And we will be covering, we have our monthly, quarterly journal also. We'll
Okay.
cover those answers in those journals. Now, we will be proposing the formal vote of thanks. Sir, your session was really fantastic. I know, though not a technical person, not an insurance person, but it gave a great insight. And I'll take it forward what you have suggested, that we should market, we should propagate the policies, the works that has been initiated by IRDAI or the policies that has been taken out by the insurance company for the benefit of the general masses. At least I assure you, and that I'll take it forward for the benefit of the general members. The comments, your comments were very lucid, and it enlightened us about the current issues regarding the life insurance and the disease. The knowledge that you shared with us today will be valuable as we brace ourselves to combat the second wave of the COVID. I was just going through the World Bank data and it was startling. The total active cases in India of the COVID is 30 lakhs. That is the total cases were 1.73 crore. Out of that, 1.43 crore has been recovered. The death is 1.5 lakh, 95 lakhs, and the active COVID cases are around 30 lakhs, which is mind-boggling. At one point of time in the first phase, we were probably the best performer. I mean, the casualty were very poor and the effective were very poor. But today, yesterday I was reading the newspaper, 50% of the total cases on a daily basis. India. Sir, we are grateful to you for sharing your valuable thoughts with us. I also thank the media friends who are present today for their continued support and hope that they will suitably cover today's proceedings. I thank all of you who have joined here online today to make this session worthwhile. Once again, thanks for all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you all very much. And I enjoyed my participation and my best wishes. And I am very confident that together we will all be able to overcome this challenge before each one of us and bring our country back to its path of glory and prosperity. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.